if we have a 3 by 3 matrix? So let's have the inverse of 3 by 3 matrix. Kasi kanina, we had 2 by 2 matrix. Madali lang. It's because we are just going to supply the formula or the given rule with the values. So, simple manipulation na lang siya or substitution at saka sa checking, multiplication lang naman. So, it's very easy when the given is a 2 by 2 matrix. Now, take note again, ang inverse ay makukuha lang natin doon sa mga square matrices. Okay? So, only those square matrices ang merong inverses. So, pag hindi siya square matrix, wala siyang inverse. Right? So, let's have the 3 by 3 matrix. Sa 3 by 3 matrix, dito na papasok si Gauss-Jordan elimination. So, since we have already learned that in our previous discussion, yun ang gagamitin natin. Actually, we can use the adjugate also. The adjoint, the determinants. We have the cofactor expansion. But hindi pa natin na-discuss siya kasi papunta pa lang tayo sa determinants. So, therefore, hindi mo na ako magbibigay ng solutions involving that or using that method. So this time, I'm just going to use the concept about the Gauss-Jordan elimination. Okay? So let's say we have example number 1. Let's say we have matrix A equals 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2, 0, positive 1, then 1, negative 1, and 0. So, let's repeat. We have 1, positive 2, negative 1, negative 2, 0, positive 1, 1, negative 1, and 0. So, in this case, we're going to find again the inverse of this 3 by 3 matrix. Diba? 3 by 3 siya, 3 rows, 3 columns. So, this is a square matrix. So, in solving this, we have to know about the identity matrix of a 3 by 3 matrix. Ano bang identity matrix? So, identity matrix of a 3 by 3 matrix is equal to, we have 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and then 1, and then 0, 0, 1. Okay? Now, anong gagawin natin dito? So, we're going to work hand in hand with this identity matrix mula dito sa given matrix. And we're going to perform the arrow or the elementary row operations. So, we will have for the augmented matrix as A and the identity matrix. So, if we're going to work hand in hand with this, performing the arrow, we are going to arrive at the inverse. Mapapalitan ito. So, for example, it will become, this A here will be replaced by the identity matrix. Mapapalitan na to. This will become the identity matrix. At yung part ng identity matrix ay mapapalitan na ng inverse of matrix A. So, ito ang magiging result niya after we have performed the arrow or the elementary row operation. So, actually, we're performing the Gauss-Jordan elimination. Okay? Or we're going to perform that. So, again, this will be the first form that we're going to have since yun ang given sa atin. Ano yung given na sa atin? We have the matrix A and then yung identity matrix. Okay? So, medyo malabo pa siguro sa isip nyo. But, let us start. So, let's just represent muna. So, ito, which is, dito na tayo sa kabila. So, we have A. Remember this. And then, or the matrix A. Augmented natin sa identity matrix. So, we have to represent yung A baga natin is 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2, 0, then positive 1, then 1, negative 1, 0. So, sulat natin dito. This is 1, 2, negative 1. Okay, then negative 2, we have 0, positive 1. And then 1, negative 1, then 0. So, augment natin, identity matrix of a 3 by 3 matrix. We have 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, then 0, 0, 1. Okay. So, di ba, sa Gauss-Jordan elimination, we have to use the arrow. So, ma-manipulate natin yung rows natin so that we can arrive at the inverse of this matrix A. Okay, so step 1, let's try to subtract row 3 from row 1. So, we have row 1 minus row 3. Okay, and that will result to row 3. So, we have, for example, we have yung row natin, yung row 1 baga minus row 3, papalitan lang naman natin ay row 3. So, copy lang natin si row 1. 1, 2, negative 1. Amen? We have 1, 0, 0. Yung row 2, ganun din. That's negative 2, 0, 1, then 0, 1, 0. So, pag pinalitan natin, di ba i-operate natin? Let's say we operate. Ito yung operation natin. Pakita natin dito. We have row 1. Row 1 is 1, 2, negative 1. Then 1, 0, 0. Then yung row 3 natin ay 1. Ito. Okay, 1, negative 1. We have 0, then 0, 0, 1. Okay, so sabi natin, subtract. Now, bakit natin kailangan gawin to? So that, di ba, ang target baga natin in the Gauss-Jordan elimination, itong tatlong to, maging 0. Di ba? 0. At lahat ng itong tatlo naman to, itong diagonal na to, must be equal to all equal to 1. Okay, yun ang target natin. So, kailangan na ma-eliminate ko ito. Dito na muna ako sa row 3. But again, there are several methods naman. It depends upon your diskarte. Okay? So, sa akin, I just wanted to subtract this one kasi mabilis na siya. Madali na lang siya. Kasi 1 minus 1 na lang. So, it will become 0. So, 2 minus negative 1. So, it will become 3 because negative times negative will be positive. So, that will become addition. And then, 1, negative 1 minus 0, of course, is negative 1. Then, 1 minus 0, of course, is 1. Then, 0 minus 0 is 0. Then, 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So, lalagay natin yun dito. That's 0, 3, negative 1. Then, 1, 0, negative 1. So, this is the result when we perform step 1. So, again, ang ginawa ko lang dito is gusto ko maging 0 na siya. Then, nakita ko na pareho naman itong 1. So, madali na lang, isusubtract ko na lang siya. Okay? So, again, depende sa makita ninyong diskarte. We have no actually uniform steps here. Maaari tayong magkapareho, pero hindi sa lahat ng oras magiging pareho ang ating solutions. Okay? So, next, we have to think naman na maging 0 yung ito. So, ito dapat, ito naman ang target ko. Maging 0 ito. Okay? So, para maging 0 yan, kailangan si 0, 1. Kasi di na ako makaka-perform dito. Ano man i-times ko rito, it will still become 0. So, ang target ko na lang si row 1. So, si row 1, of course, 2 yan. I'm going to multiply row 1 by 2. Okay? So, multiply row 1 by 2. And then, i-add ko sa row 2. And that yields, papalitan natin yung row 2. Okay? So, since row 2 papalitan natin, same pa rin si row 1. So, 1, 2, negative 1, then 1, 0, 0. Then si row 3, same pa rin, 0, 3, negative 1, 1, 0, negative 1. Okay, so sino papalitan natin? Si row 2. So, palitan natin. Paano ba ito? Paano ito i-operate? Ibig sabihin, multiply mo muna si row 1. We have 2, lahat ng elements, multiply natin by 2 sa row 1. So, di ba si row 1 ay ito? We have 1, 2, negative 1, 1, 0, 0. So, isa-isay natin yan. 2 times 1, and then 2 times 2, and then 2 times negative 1, and then 2 times 1, then 2 times 0, 2 times 0. So, ano magiging result nito? We have 2, this is 2, this is 4, this is negative 2, this is 2, then 0, 0. So, anong gagawin daw natin dito? We're going to add it to row 2. So, plus natin, ano yung row 2? That's negative 2. We have 0. Ito na tayo. We have positive 1. We have 0, 1, 0. Okay? So, let's operate. So, by adding them, this becomes 0. Then, 4 plus 0 is 4. 2, negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Diba? And then, 2 plus 0 is 2. Then, of course, this is 1. This is 0. So, papalitan natin ngayon si row 2. So, palitan natin. Ano ipapalit natin? Yung nakuha natin dito. Okay? So, we have 0. We have 4. We have negative 1. Positive 2. Positive 1. And 0. So, ito na ngayon yung result when we multiply row 1 by 2 and add it to row 2. Pinalitan natin ngayon si row 2. Okay? So, ito na yon. So, nakikita natin, hindi pa, medyo malayo pa yung lalakpi natin. It's because dalawa pa lang naging 0 dito. Ito dapat maging 0 pa ito. Okay? So, itong 3 maging 0 pa. Si 2 maging 0, 0, 0. Okay? Tapos ito, maging 1 lahat ito. So, hindi pa. Kulang pa. So, let's have another. So, by that, we have to perform step number 3. So, step number 3 natin, tingnan ulit natin si problem. Ano naman na magiging target natin dyan? Ano na yung naging 0? Ito na dalawa. So, ito naman ang target ko. Target ko na maging 0 is 3. So, dapat maging 0 yan. So, anong gagawin ko? Dito sa kanilang dalawa. Pagka kasi pinair ko pa dito, ay baka masira yung 0 ko dito. Okay? So, silang dalawa na lang. Dahil pareho na sila 0. So, pagka minultiply ko siya, inad ko yung subtract, 0 pa rin magiging result dito sa first column natin. Then, sa rows 2 and 3. Okay? So, ano naiisip natin? So, common sa kanila will be 12. So, dapat maging 12 sila. So, multiply ko ito by 4, multiply ko ito by 3. Then, pwede ko na silang isubtract because they are both positive. So, perform natin yan. So, ibig sabihin, we're going to multiply row 2 by 3. And then, yung row 3 by 4. Diba? Ito by 4 by 3 siya. Okay. And then, ipapalit natin ngayon sa row 3. Bakit sa row 3? Kasi ang target ko nga is maging 0 itong 3 na to. Okay. So, anong gagawin natin? Anong operation? So, since they are both positive, so pwede ko itong isubtract. Okay. So, we have now, hindi naman mapapalitan si 0, 1. So, 1, 2, negative 1. Then, 1, 0, 0. Then, we have 0, 4, negative 1. Then, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so ang papalitan kasi natin ay row 3. So, let's perform. Ano yon? Multiply natin muna si row 2 by 3. So, ito, 3 times row 2. So, yung row 2 natin is, yung row 2 natin, we have 0, times natin ito sa 3, then 3 times 4, then 3 times negative 1, then 3 times 2, then 3 times 1, then 3 times 0. Okay, so 3 times 0, of course, is 0. This is 12. This is negative 3. This is 6. This is 3. Then this is 0. Para rin sa row 2. Next, we have to multiply row 3 by 4. Okay, so multiply natin. Si row 3 baga dito, ano si row 3? 0, 3, negative 1. Okay, tapos 1, 0, negative 1. So, perform natin yon. So, 4 4 times, we have 0. Then 4 times 3. Then 4 times negative 1. Then 4 times 1. Then 4 times 0. Then 4 times negative 1. Okay? So, the answer, we have 0, we have 12, we have negative 4, then we have 4, 0, negative 4. Okay, so subtract na natin sila. Subtract natin 0 minus 0. Of course, that's 0. Then 12 minus 12 is 0. Negative 3 minus 4. Diba? That will become addition. So, pero magiging unlike sign sila. So, that will be equal to positive 1. Okay, so that will be negative 3 plus 4. So, that's positive 1. Then 6 minus 4 is 2. Then 3 minus 0 is 3. Then we have 0 minus negative 4 is positive 4. So, papalit na natin siya rito. That's 0, 0, 1. Then 2, 3, 4. So, ito yung result. So, target na natin. Nalock na natin to. 0, 0, 0. At 1 na rin to. So, ang problema na lang natin, itong 4 na ito. So, that's 2, negative 1, 4, negative 1. Okay? Pero ito, dapat 1. Ito, 0, 0, 0. Right? So, next target natin. Target lock tayo. Ano ang magiging target naman natin? Sunod, of course, dito na tayo sa taas. Dapat itong susunod natin, ito, maging 0 siya. Okay? At ito rin, maging 0. So, pero sa kanila, ito muna yung parang mas madali na maging 0. So, madali lang siya. Perform natin. Ano ang pwedeng gawin natin sa kanya? Ang pareho lang naman dito ay, di ba si row 1 at saka si row 2. So, pwede ko na silang i-add. Pwede rin naman dito. Pwede kang mag-add nito. Okay? Pwede ka mag-subtract. Depende kung alin ang gusto mo. But this time, since unlike signs sila, so dito na muna ako sa dalawa. So, step number 4, gawin natin, yung row 1, i-add ko sa row 3. Okay? And palitan natin si row 1. This time, we have, yung papalitan natin is row 1, so blank natin si row 1, pero si row 2 at saka si row 3 as is. Siya nga pala, hindi yung inilalagay natin yung original ha, yung recently na napalitan na natin, na na-perform natin yung arrow. Okay, wala na tayong pakialam doon sa mga nakaraan, past na yun. So, dito na tayo sa present. So, yan ang ilalagay natin. Okay? Then, we have 2, 1, 0. At ito ay 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, let's perform. Simple lang naman. I-perform na natin directly. So, ibig sabihin, row 1 plus row 3. So, row 1, 1 plus, di ba? 1 plus 0 is 1. Then, 2 plus 0 is 2. Then, negative 1 plus 1 is, of course, 0. Okay? Then, 1 plus 2 is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. 0 plus 4 is 4. So, ito na ngayon yung row 1 natin. Okay? Next, target. Susunod natin, ano na? Okay na itong tatlong to. Okay na siya. Ito naman ang target natin. Maging 0 ito. Sunod ito at ito maging 1. Okay? So, next target. Yan. So, anong gagawin natin? Nakikita natin itong dalawa pareho, di ba? So, pwede nating i-perform siya. Step number 5, yung row 2, i-add lang natin dito sa row 3. Kasi unlike sign sila, so basically magiging 0 yan. So, ipapalit ko naman yung result nito, yung sum nito, sa row 2. Okay? Para maging 0 yan. Okay, next. We have, ang papalitan natin ay row 2, so same pa rin si row 1. 1, 2, 0, then 3, 3, 4. Saka si row 3. 0, 0, 1. We have 2, 3, 4. Okay? So, let's perform. Simple lang naman. Kaya, no need nang isulat pa natin sa labas dito. So, row 2 plus row 3. Okay? Row 3 ito Row 3. Row 2 plus row 3. So, row 2, ang row 2, ito. Tsaka row 3. So, 0 plus 0 is of course 0. 4 plus 0 is 4. Negative 1 plus 1 is of course 0. Then 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. Okay, so ito na ngayon yung row 2. So malapit na. Malapit na maging identity matrix itong sa left part natin. So konting kembot na lang at magiging identity matrix na siya. Isang step na lang, maging 0 ito, madali na yung 4. Kasi magde-divide na lang tayo dyan by 4 or multiply it by maybe 1/4. Okay? Okay, so we have this ready. Diba ito yung sa step number 5. So let's say we have this ready sa step number 5. Now let's say, anong pwedeng gawin natin? So silang dalawa na lang, wala na tayong magagawa dito para sa row 3 kasi 0 na siya, baka mabago na naman siya. So dito tayo, si row 1 at saka si row 2. Ang target natin again is to make 2 become 0. So anong gagawin natin? Simple, multiply lang natin si row 1 by 2. Kasi ipapantay natin dito sa 4. Then, isusubtract natin yung row 2. And papalitan natin, of course, is row 1. So, we have yung row 2, same pa rin. We have 0, 4, 0, then 4, 4, 4. Then, we have 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So, papalitan natin, i-perform natin to. Ano yung 2 times row 1? That will be 2 times 1, then 2 times 2, then 2 times 0, then 2 times 3, then 2 times 3, then 2 times 4. Okay, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 0 of course 0, then 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6, then we have 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract daw natin si row 2. So, subtract natin. Ano ba yung row 2 natin? That's 0, 4, 0, 4, 4, 4. Okay, subtract natin. We have 2, we have 0, we have 0, we have 2, 2, we have 4. Okay, so palitan natin. This will become 2, 0, 0, then 2, 2, 4. Okay, so yung target natin na maging 0 ito, okay na. Target natin na maging 0 din to, ito, okay na rin. So, problem na lang natin itong dalawa, si 4 at saka si 2, para maging 1. So, simple na lang siya. Sa step 7, simple as, i-divide na lang natin or i-multiply natin si row 1, 1/2 of row 1. So, ipapalit natin siya sa row 1. Okay? So, magiging na siya. So, of course, divided by 2, that will become 1. And then, this will still be 0, 0. Then, divide by 2, this will become 1. Divide by 2, that's 1. Divide by 2, that will be 2. Okay? Then, copy 0, 4, 0, then 4, 4, 4. Then 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so another problem, ito yung 4. So, step number 8 natin, divide lang natin to by 4 or multiply by 1/4, yung row 2. So, papalit natin ngayon sa row 2. So, by multiplying, this will become, yung row 1 natin, pareho pa rin, 1, 0, 0, then 1, 1, 2. Then, pag divide natin by 4, this will be 0. Divide by 4 will be 1. Then, still 0. Divide by 4 will be 1. Then, divide by 4 will be 1. Of course, this is also 1. And then, we have 0, 0, 1. Then, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So, yes, nakuha na natin. This is already the identity matrix of a 3 by 3 matrix. So, that means that ito, nasa kabila, will be the inverse of matrix A. Diba sabi natin kanina, from the start pa lang, we can say that nakuha natin yung inverse niya, nabaliktad na natin, andito na yung inverse or yung identity matrix at yung sa kabila niya, sa right part, will be the inverse of the given matrix. So, nagawa ba natin yon? Nagawa natin yon dito sa ating solutions. So, ito na yung identity matrix at automatically yung katabi niya will be the inverse of matrix A. Alright, so paano naman natin sasabi na talagang that is actually itong nakuha natin is the inverse of matrix A? So, mapapatunayan natin yan when we check. To check, just multiply the given matrix by its inverse. The product must be the identity matrix, of course, of a 3 by 3 matrix. Kasi 3 by 3 yung matrix natin. Okay? So, ano yung matrix A natin? Given matrix, we have 1, 2, negative 1. We have negative 2, 0, 1, at saka 1, negative 1, 0. Okay? Multiply this by the inverse na nakuha natin, yung 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, then 2, 3, 4. So, we have 1, 1, 2, we have 1, 1, 1, and 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's multiply this. Okay, so that will be equal to this row here to column 1. Okay, alam na natin yan. So, I'm just going to make this fast. We have 1 times 1 plus 2 times 1 plus negative 1 times 2. Then, we have 1 times 1 plus 2 times 1 plus negative 1 times 3. Then, we have 1 times 2 plus 2 times 1 plus negative 1 times positive 4. Okay. Then, we have, next, we have negative 2 times 1 plus 0 times 1 plus 1 times 2. Then, negative 2 times 1 plus 0 times 1 plus 1 times 3, then negative 2 times 2 plus 0 times 1 plus 1 times 4. Okay, then next we have 1 times 1 plus negative 1 times 1 plus 0 times 2. Then 1 times 1 plus negative 1 times 1 plus 0 times 3. Then, 1 times 2 plus negative 1 times 1 plus 0 times 4. Okay, so we have 1 times 1 is 1, of course. Then 2 times 1 is 2. Then, minus 2. Then, we have 1 plus 2, then minus 3. Then we have 2 plus 2 minus 4. Then dito we have negative 2 plus 0, then plus 2. Then 2, we have negative 2 plus 0 plus 3. Then negative 4 plus 0 plus 4. And we have 1 minus 1 plus 0. Then 1 plus negative 1 plus 0. Then 2 plus negative 1 plus 4. Okay, so this means we have 1 plus 2 minus 2 is 1. Then 1 plus 2 minus 3, that's 1 plus 2, 3 minus 3 is 0. Then 2 plus 2, 4 minus 4 is 0. Then negative 2 plus 2 is 0, plus 0 is of course 0. Then we have negative 2 plus 0 is negative 2, plus 3 is positive 1. Then 4, negative 4 plus 4 is 0, plus 0, of course that's 0. Then 1 minus 1 is 0, plus 0 is 0. Then 1 plus negative 1, that's 1 minus 1, 0, plus 0 is 0. Then 2 minus 1, 0 times 4 pala dito is actually 0. This is 0. Okay, so this 0, I'm sorry, 0 times 4 is 0. Okay, so 0 times 4 is 0. Then, we have 2 plus negative 1, that's 2 minus 1 is positive 1, plus 0 is of course positive 1. So, we arrived at the identity matrix. Therefore, the inverse na nakuha natin ng matrix A ay tama. So, inverse natin ay, inverse of matrix A na nakuha natin ay 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, and 2, 3, 4. So, this is already the matrix or the inverse of matrix A. Okay? Alright, so that's about our lesson for today. Now, take note, in getting the inverse of a matrix, we have, if we have 2 by 2 matrix, we have to use the formula or the rule that we had a while ago. And if we have a 3 by 3 matrix, we can use the Gauss-Jordan elimination. So this time, Gauss-Jordan elimination muna tayo. And later on, we're going to use the concept of determinants. Pag na-discuss na natin ang determinants. Right? So if you have questions, kindly type your comments or your questions sa comment box natin or section. Right? So for now, goodbye everyone and thank you for watching and listening.